Welcome to an algebra tutorial video. We're learning about linear graphs and patterns. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to write a slope-intercept equation if I'm just given 2 points. So let's work through that here. We got the point -5 and 11. I'm going to go ahead and write that -5 is an x value and 11 is a y value. And I have the point 0, -4. So another point with an x value of 0 and a y value of -14. So 1 point, 2 points. All right. So a slope-intercept form equation is always in this pattern where we have y equals mx plus b. And what I need to write it is I need to know, well, what is the slope? That's my value m. So m equals the slope of the line. It's my average rate of change. It's what's being added over and over and again in the linear pattern. And then I need to know what b is, my y-intercept. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. If I'm looking at my points, I can recognize the y-intercept is always the y value when x is 0 because of the way it lines up on the graph. So I'm looking at this point right here. This is the y-intercept. I'm given that in the problem. So to find the y-intercept, I already know that it is going to be -14. I'm going to put that in for b. Because when x is 0, -14, I plot that point on my graph. That's right where it would cross the y-axis. All right, I'm halfway done. Now I just got to find the slope. The slope, if you remember, is the change in y. So if I want to find the slope, that's the change in y, or subtract your two y values. How much are you changing along your y values between a couple points? And divide it by how much you're changing along your x values. So subtract a couple x values and you get your change in y divided by change in x. It ends up being a rate. So I've got a couple points here. Let's just put those in and see what our change is. So for my y2, I'm going to put in -14 in place of y2. And for my y1, I'm going to put in 11. And basically, what I'm going to find is how much did I change going from one point to another point in those y values. All right, now I've got to also on the bottom find out how much change is happening in my x values. So x2 is 0 minus x1 is going to be -5. Okay, now if I do my arithmetic correctly, -14 minus 11 is going to be a change of -25. That makes sense. I'm going from 11 all the way down to -14. We definitely decreased in y values. We decreased by 25. As that is happening, we have a change of 0 minus -5 that turns into 0 plus 5. Our x values change by 5. We definitely see that too. I go from -5 to 0. That's a change of +5. So my slope means I'm losing 25 every time I change by 5. So as a rate, that means I lose -5. I just divide those two. -25 divided by 5 is -5. My slope is -5. All right, I've got my slope of -5. I got my y-intercept of -14. Let's write out our equation. I'm going to do it up in the top left here. My equation then has to be y equals -5, that's my pattern, that's my slope right there, times x, relationship between x and y, minus 14. That was my y-intercept. All right, there we go. We just wrote an equation for the line that's going to go between these 2 points. All you need is 2 points, and that's enough to draw a line through them, and there's only one unique line that goes through 2 points. So hopefully that was helpful for you. A good example of given 2 points, write a slope-intercept form equation.